We were just leaving for the day, and about 5 feet east or south or southeast of the post office, we came across a really big target. As you can see, it's really big. It looks like a rim of some sort. There is broken bits of glass. Oh, there's a piece right there inside the rim, but I don't think that has anything to do with the function of this rim. I think that's just because stuff was deposited in the ground at the same time as this thing. So I'm thinking, because of the way this is shaped, you know, hollowed down in this area and raised on the sides, just like a bike wheel, I think it's an old vehicle rim from like the 20s, 30s, whatever. Found this thing right in the center of it. Really big, heavy metal pole. It tapers down to a point, kind of. You can see I broke it off to get it out. It's rounded at the top, so maybe it was a gear shifter thing. I don't know. And then all around in the bottom of this circle here was some of these big pieces of metal. Some are flat, most of them are a little bit curved. Then there was these two pieces, and you can see there's a channel in there, and there's like a defined ridge inside here that leads to this hole, which is kind of weird. I thought maybe it was a transmission cover or gear shift case cover. Here's another piece that looks like it's got a channel running through it. It's flat on the other side though. Maybe more to it when there's time to get them all washed up. But the other things we found that were pretty nice for the day were glass, and I'll show those to you in a minute. Getting ready to excavate this doorway to the post office so that this wall that gets covered up is more visible, like the wall over there. And as I look down, right in front of me is what looks like maybe an intact, yes, an intact bottle. No markings on it to identify what was in it except for these arrows, and a small opening at the top suggests maybe perfume or Worcestershire sauce or something. If anybody knows, let me know. I'll research it when I get home, but just in case I can't find anything. Cool. We did today on excavating the old Paige post office site involved creating that big monster pile right out there. That's all cut down stuff from the area up there to where you can see the base of the big pine tree. When I first was looking at this site, I thought the pine tree was growing up inside the foundation of the post office, but really it's outside about 6-7 feet, maybe 8 feet. We measured out the post office. It's 23 by 49 feet with several breaks in the walls and with several pieces of wall laying off to the side as though it had tumbled. We've also seen signs of charcoal from signs of fire. We also found this brick, which is pretty cool. It says S8 or no, S ampersand HO, and this LOUI is probably St. Louis. So that may have been used in the making of the post office. I excavated to trying to find more of where this wall was, and any rock sitting next to it I put on top because it might fit into places where they were being used to make the wall after it crumbled. We took a big measuring tape and we laid it from the known edge of the wall to known edge of the wall up here, and I just dug out a little bit of a trench there to kind of mark where that was. Here's a big piece of wall that we found. Let me give you an idea. So there's the wall going off. We found this piece over in that hole right there. Pretty good condition, except that it's not part of the main wall anymore. And this is weird to find a piece of wall here with this gap in between, but there's nothing connecting them here. And then when I tried to pull a root that was running underneath it, the whole piece was moving. So I don't think this was originally intended to be here. I think it fell off of the wall. we are finding all sorts of bottle glass and also a lot of very flat glass, like it came from a window pane all through here. But yeah, my son-in-law Brian, he was a beast today, and he cut down a whole bunch of yopon, which we will get rid of later on, so that we could get up into this area. This I all excavated today, this piece of the wall here. And then we found that big giant wheel rim in there, and there's a strap with a little hook on the end, buried so deep in there that I can't pull it up right now. And so we want to follow this wall here up past the past the pine tree, to where the other wall goes. So let's see, it's right. So it's going to go up there, and then it's going to go over to the corner, and then to that piece of wall you can see right there, and then there's a gap and hook up with that wall. So we want to get all the rest of this stuff out, and we should be able to do it in 1 or 2 more visits out here. We'll have the entire floor gone of vegetation. Before, you could barely walk through from one side to the other. So we've done a pretty good job. I'm excited to see it coming out of the ground. Most of this sand that you see is probably 2 feet of modern sediment that's all been run down, because if you look, this meadow is much lower than we are right now, and where Brian is coming from now is uphill. So all this sand is coming from old Highway 20, which is behind all these trees, down this way over, a century of time, and it's just filled in and covered everything. So at least to a foot, if not 2 feet deep. Okay, more later. Okay, so I'm back home. We had another day excavating the old Paige post office. Found this hinge in really remarkably good condition. Everything we've pulled out has been very, very rusty nails and stuff, but to find this hinge in such good condition was a real surprise. It almost looks like letters or numbers there, but it might not be that. One really great thing was this little teacup. Looks like a children's teacup in size. The handle's broken off, and there's a couple of chips, but otherwise it's intact, so that was pretty cool. Found this bottle sitting right on top of the ground. There are no maker's marks underneath it. There's these triangles on the sides pointing down. A very small opening, which makes me think it's a perfume bottle or a sauce bottle, something you don't want to pour very much out of at one time. And then I brought this piece of bottle home to see if I can identify it with some internet searches. It's got these U's. Let me see if I can figure out how to. Yeah, there we go. U's on it, but they look more like horseshoes on the sides. So I want to try and figure out what that is. So that and the tire rim and that other knob, some of our really big finds today. We excavated a lot of the post office so that we can get ready to metal detect everything. And these are just some things we found along the way. We ran the metal detector and found that big metal tire rim. At least that's what I'm calling it for now, until I know better. About 1.5 to 2 feet down, even though my Equinox 800 only had 3 arrows, which suggests it's about 6 inches down. But it was such a big target that it was throwing off the algorithm, I think. Anyway, good day. I'm really dirty from being down in the dirt so much, really tired and sore, and it's time for dinner. Talk to you all later.